All right, good. Cole, we got this. Let's knock it out. Knock it out. Illinois women's golf needed a historic round on Sunday to finish towards the top of the Big Ten tournament. So they just decided to shoot the best round in school history at 7 under and get tied for second place in the tournament. The performance was good enough for the Illini to qualify for their second straight regional berth and only the 6th in program history. 4 Illini were named to the always forget about that one. 4 Illini received all Big Ten honors. Senior Grace Park and junior Bing Sing Sumale were named to the first team, and sophomore Tristan Nolan and senior Jan Prapasarangul were named to the second team. The Illini are the 5 seed in the upcoming regional in Madison, beginning on May 5th. Meanwhile, the Illini men's gymnastics team went into the NCAA championships last weekend with their eyes set on gold, but they left with bronze. The biggest bright spot for the team came from junior Alex Diab, who brought home the individual national title in still rings. As the Illini men's tennis team gets ready for the Big Ten tournament tomorrow, 2 Illini seniors are approaching the end of their careers in the orange and blue. Alex Vukic and Aaron Hiltzik have been in the As the Illini men's tennis team gets ready for their Big Ten tournament tomorrow, 2 Illini seniors are approaching the end of their careers in the orange and blue. Alex Vukic and Aaron Hiltzik have been the faces of Illinois tennis the past few years. Vukic, the #1 singles player, and Hiltzik, the #2, were honored at the Illini Senior Day this past weekend in their match against Minnesota. Vukic and Hiltzik have combined for Vukic and Hiltzik have combined for 285 wins in their careers, while only taking 149 losses. Both are planning on pursuing a career in the pros. Vukic already has a top 100 win and a pro tournament title under his belt, and Hiltzik will be joining his older brother Jared on the pro circuit. Until then, the Illini will be focusing on the Big Ten tournament and the upcoming NCAA tournament.
Good afternoon, I'm Emma Lee.
And I'm Jessica Watson. Thanks for tuning in to this week's UI7 News Update.
Coming up in 60 minutes on UI7 News, Suburban Express is facing the lawsuit filed by Illinois Attorney General for alleged discrimination and harassment. And now a potential temporary restraining order is on its way.
And police have gone to new lengths to find and ticket distracted drivers. Our reporter Kane Walters got the inside scoop on how the police are cracking down on distracted drivers.
And our reporter Naja Smith has an interesting story for us about Douglas bike sharing systems. This might mean up to 500 Douglas bikes in the city. Find out how this system might work and what it might bring to our community.
And the Illinois Marathon is Saturday morning. People from all over the community will be running 26 whole miles. I had the opportunity to speak to the co-director of the entire event and hear one of the many stories from a runner participating.
Our sports reporter for this week is Cole Hankey, and he will give us all we need to know about the games that have and will occur this week.
And spring has finally made its way to Champaign-Urbana, as we've been blessed with warm temperatures lately. Looking at the temperature right now, it is currently 66 degrees and the sun isn't going to disappear till 7:43 tonight. So if you're still at work, don't worry, the sun will be around for a while longer. And don't forget to tune in tonight as Kelly Rice gives a full forecast of the week ahead.
That's it for now. Tune into UI7 News at 5:30 for those stories and more. This is going to be a very special newscast, being our last Thursday edition for the year.
And make sure to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter at UI7 News.
Or check out our YouTube channel for the live stream.
We'll see you then.
Coming up on UI7 News, Suburban Express might be forced to close down after a lawsuit has been filed against them.
And dockless bikes soon will be finding their way into Champaign.
Also, the Illinois Marathon is this Saturday, and we have all the information you need.
UI7 News starts right now.
From the Richmond Journalism Teaching Studio at the University of Illinois campus,
Hello and welcome to UI7 News. I'm Jessica Watson.
And I'm Emma Lee. Today's newscast will have all the news you need from the Champaign-Urbana area. So join us for the next 30 minutes for everything you need to know. Competing bus companies may get a little more crowded as one company finds themselves in a legal battle against Illinois State Attorney General Lisa Madigan. UI7's Kelly Walker has more.
We are very disappointed by the verdict. We don't think Mr. Cosby's guilty.
On a campus surrounded by many companies, one in particular is standing out, but for the wrong reasons.
I'm announcing that this morning I filed a lawsuit against Suburban Express. My lawsuit alleges that Suburban Express has long been engaged in illegal discrimination and harassment against college students in Illinois, particularly University of Illinois students and their families.
The company's harassment and discrimination recently caught the attention of our Illinois Attorney General, but the university spokesperson says she is not surprised. University's Robin Kaler released this statement expressing, "The allegations in the complaint are not surprising because these are the type of accounts our students have been reporting to us for quite some time, and they match the interactions many of us have had with this organization. Marketing efforts that are offensive, bigoted, and insulting are in direct opposition to the values of the university." It's hard to believe that such a small place like this can cause so much controversy, but for students, this is their only reliable transportation to go home.
So I've definitely faced a time where, even though I don't support Suburban Express, the times that are available for their buses are the only ones that are convenient for me. So it's sometimes a hard choice between what's more convenient for me or my personal beliefs, but I do try to stick with my personal beliefs.
As the lawsuit continues, students are on standby as the future of Suburban Express remains unknown. In Champaign, I'm Kelly Walker, UI7 News.
Bill Cosby has been found guilty on all 3 counts of aggravated indecent assault. The claims against Cosby are tracked back to 2014 in Philadelphia, when the icon drugged and sexually assaulted Andrea Constad. This could result in up to 10 years in prison on each count. Dozens of other women have accused Bill Cosby of sexual misconduct. Constad's claims were the only ones that result in charges.
Following the verdict, Bill Cosby's attorney spoke to the media about the decision. The judge said Mr. Cosby's
We are very disappointed by the verdict. We don't think Mr. Cosby's guilty of anything, and the fight is not over. Thank you.
The judge said Mr. Cosby's bail at $1 million while he awaits sentencing. The judge is limiting Cosby's movement to within Montgomery County, Pennsylvania.
Drivers may find themselves in the hot seat as the University Police Department campaigns against distracted driving, like texting. UI7 Kane Walters has more.
If you see a university police officer with someone pulled over this week, there is a higher chance than normal that it is for distracted driving, and I found out why.
This is our national campaign. I know around 300 other law enforcement agencies in the state are participating in the same campaign, along with the Illinois Association of Chiefs of Police, AAA, the travel agency, the Illinois State Police. So it's really a concerted effort.
I was able to check in this morning and see how the campaign is going for the University Police Department.
It's going very well. Our patrol officers have been out there doing a lot of focus patrols on that specific violation, which As the weather gets nicer, it becomes even more and more important when we have more pedestrians out, we have more bicyclists out, that people put down the phones and make sure that they're paying attention to all the risks that are out there.
As you can see, there is a large number of people out walking with the nice weather. The most recent statistics I could find on dmv.org are from 2015, and they show 3,477 total deaths, 3,196 fatal car crashes, and 391,000 injuries, all from distracted driving. Almost everyone has one of these, but the moral of the story is this. If you're driving, do not use it. Do not have it in your hands, or you will be pulled over. Reporting in Urbana, Kane Walters, UI7 News.
And here we are as Kelly Rice joins us for the weather. How's it looking tonight, Kelly?
Well, it's looking like it's going to be a nice night tonight. It's currently about 66 degrees and the sun will be shining till the sunset at around 7:43. You might want to put on a light jacket on before leaving the house tonight, as it will be a low of 46 degrees with mostly clear skies and with some west winds at 10 miles per hour.
Coming up after the break, middle school students are receiving unwanted attention from an overly friendly neighbor.
And the university is also feeling friendly by allowing incoming freshmen to self-report their own scores.
Also later in the newscast, the magic age of 18 may not be sufficient enough to smoke in the near future.
What to expect when you're expecting.
Cool. Hey, if you...
And this works literally every time.
Give kisses. Give kisses. Look. Give kisses. Give kisses. You heard how loud that was.
I know, I
sleep through
heard.
that.
I heard. It wasn't you.
Yeah.
It was the...
Is that bacon?
You don't have to know it all to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
Bacon.
Families come in all sizes and shapes. Sometimes your friends are your family by choice, or sometimes you're just stuck with Uncle Charles. But what we know is that you want to protect the people that are close to you, but the flu can unravel everything. Your flu vaccine protects you and your family. No matter what draws your family together, protect yourself, protect your family. Everyone needs a flu vaccine.
Good morning, Illini.
Hey, good morning, Elena, and selamat pagi.
Good morning, Illini.
There are now 2 recent reports of a suspicious person approaching Franklin Middle School students while on their way to school. Today at approximately 7 a.m., a 14-year-old female student was walking to school near the corner of Harris and Sherwood when a male driver stopped and motioned multiple times for her to come to his vehicle. Last Saturday, also around 7 a.m., a 13-year-old female student was walking to her bus stop near Market and Bradley Avenue when a male driver asked for her phone number and if she wanted a ride. In both incidents, the students left the area and no further contact was made. Both students described the driver as a Hispanic male in his mid-20s driving a small silver or gray 4-door vehicle. Police are seeking potential surveillance footage to help identify the subject. Additional police staff will be available to area school zones during morning and afternoon dismissal for the next several days.
And the University of Illinois hopefuls will now be able to self-report their own standardized test scores without a charge. This means applicants can send their ACT or SAT records to administrations as many times as they want for free. International students will not be forced to share results from the International English Language Testing System and foreign language exams. This will be in effect for the incoming freshmen applying for the fall 2019 semester.
The Illinois House will now consider a bill to raise the minimum smoking age from 18 to 21. The Illinois Senate voted yesterday 35 to 20 to approve the bill. The bill affects all smoke-related products containing nicotine and has already been implemented in 14 Illinois cities, most notable being Chicago. If passed, all of Illinois would have to make the appropriate changes to accommodate the new age restrictions.
It seems like winter was never going to end, but this week it's finally getting warmer, thank goodness.
Oh, yeah. So Kelly Rice will have all the details after the break.
Stay tuned.
Everything starts out small. The things that hurt us, they all start from somewhere. The words we say, the things we do, that can grow into something else. What was small and innocent can become big and sometimes scary. All it takes is one comment, one picture, one video for something to catch fire. But a big problem doesn't need a big response. Not at first. Even if we don't know what to say, the eye emoji can be that first step we take. Let's all pledge to take that first small step together and change the world in a big way. I'm a witness, and so are you.
Bye-bye.
Hi. Hoping for a crisp breeze to help keep you alert? Oh, he took a sip of water too. That'll probably help.
You were probably going to turn down the radio too, so you could focus, right?
Probably okay isn't okay.
Right?
If you see a warning sign, stop and call a cab, a car, or a friend.
I think the water line is what really drove it home. I blew on him.
So we were walking to school. I started thinking about lunch. Mom packed me turkey and cheese.
She's
I really want
smart.
cheese pizza.
Sometimes her mind wanders.
We should have a sleepover.
I remember saying, Laura?
I think I heard Mom say something.
The sign says don't walk.
Sometimes it's so overwhelming.
I really hope she doesn't
I
have
really
another
hope we
bad
don't
day
have another bad day at school today.
When you can see learning and attention issues from their side, you can be on their side. Go to understood.org, a free online resource with support and tools to help your child thrive.
Champaign City Council recently approved our dockless bike sharing. UI7's Anaja Smith learns how this affects a local bike mechanic. Sorry about that. We will try to have the story back later in the newscast. If not, you can always check out our YouTube page.
All right. I cannot believe this weather is finally heating up. Have you had any time to spend in the sunshine yet?
I actually got light on the grass on the quad. It was really nice.
Oh, I love that. Oh, this sunshine has been just amazing.
I know.
And after the winter for so long, oh my goodness.
And then here's Kelly Rice with the weather report.
Thank you for joining us for our last weather forecast for the semester. We're finally getting over some of that snow we are seeing this spring, but let's go ahead and look at what those temperatures are looking like. So looking at our local temperatures, it's currently about 65 here in Champaign-Urbana. All the local temperatures are kind of ranging all around the same area, all in the 60s, with the warmest being 69 here in Springfield and the coldest being 61 in Danville. Looking at the Midwest temperatures, it's now about 59 in Chicago, 63 down in Paducah, a little bit warmer at 68 in Des Moines, and 65 in Kansas City. Looking at our national temperatures, very warm at 91 here in Phoenix, 68 in Los Angeles, 68 also in Dallas, 79 in Miami, and a little bit colder at 50 in Cleveland and 66 in New York City. And looking at tonight's temperature, it's going to be a low of 46, mostly clear skies with some west winds going at 10 miles per hour. And for tomorrow, it's going to be very sunny, a high of 67 with some northwest winds at 16 miles per hour. And looking at our 5-day forecast, again tomorrow a high of 67. Saturday, it will be a little bit colder with a high of 54, and there will be some clouds, but the sun will come back on Sunday with a high of 61. It'll get a little bit warmer on Monday and Tuesday, Monday being a high of 71 and Tuesday being a high of 79.
Thank you so much, Kelly, for the weather report.
Yeah, you're welcome.
So sorry for the delay, now the story is here. Champaign City Council recently approved of dockless bike sharing. UI7's Anaja Smith learns how this affects a local bike mechanic.
Kind of methodical, and every little step you're making progress.
Mike Nauheimer explains his favorite part of fixing bikes.
It's very satisfying to just screw that bottom bracket in there.
Being a bike mechanic helps him interact with people that he normally would not be able to.
It's nice because you helped them out and you made their day better.
Bike shop owners now have some
For like 8
competition
hours a
with
day,
the
you'll learn
Champaign
it
City
pretty
Council
quick.
approving of a bike sharing program.
Companies that do dockless bike share charge 50 cents for a half-hour ride.
This means instead of buying a bike, consumers have the option of selecting a bike from an app similar to Uber and riding it.
This is an accessible way for them to have a high-quality biking system that's convenient to them without that upfront cost.
Although there will be new bike options for riders in Champaign, there's one benefit to traditional bike shops is getting personal maintenance. Nauheimer is even training a student to fix bikes during his journey across the country in case of emergency.
The simple things are the things that you're going to have to encounter.
With the new dockless bike sharing, personal moments like talking on the phone with customers won't be as often.
Just hanging out with all the people here, I think every day has really been the best part of it.
In Champaign, I'm Anaja Smith, UI7 News.
Coming up after the break, I'll give you a look at how the Illini men's gymnastics team has a newly minted national champion and how the men's tennis team is dominating and getting ready for the Big Ten tournament this weekend. And the women's golf team is having quite the season as 4 players got all Big Ten honors.
Everything starts out small. The things that hurt us, they all start from somewhere. The words we say, the things we do, that can grow into something else. What was small and innocent can become big and sometimes scary. All it takes is one comment, one picture, one video for something to catch fire. But a big problem doesn't need a big response. Not at first. Even if we don't know what to say, the eye emoji can be that first step we take. Let's all pledge to take that first small step together and change the world in a big way. I'm a witness, and so are you.
Hi! Hoping for a crisp breeze to help keep you alert. Oh, he took a sip of water too. That'll probably help.
You were probably going to turn down the radio too, so you could focus, right?
Probably okay isn't okay.
Right?
If you see a warning sign, stop and call a cab, a car, or a friend.
I think the water line is what really drove it home. I blew on him.
So we were walking to school. I started thinking about lunch. Mom packed me turkey and cheese.
She's
I really
smart.
want cheese pizza.
Sometimes her mind wanders.
We should have a sleepover.
I remember saying, Laura?
I think I heard Mom say something.
The sign says don't walk.
Sometimes it's so overwhelming.
I really hope she doesn't have
really
another
hope
bad
I don't
day
have another bad day at
today.
school today.
When you can see learning and attention issues from their side, you can be on their side. Go to understood.org, a free online resource with support and tools to help your child thrive.
The Illinois Marathon is this Saturday, and I got the opportunity to sit down with one of the co-directors of the event and learn about what this weekend will entail.
The Illinois Marathon
Marathon begins this weekend. Thousands of runners will be hitting the streets and running 26 miles to achieve their goal, each setting their mind and body to accomplish something nearly impossible to the public.
Just providing an opportunity for people to set goals and to have a journey to accomplish on race week. And so many people have stories. We talk about that, everybody's story.
Since the marathon is on a college campus, it typically draws a crowd of both adults and college students.
Running a marathon has been a lifelong dream of mine. I ran the half marathon the past 2 years and decided it's just the right time in my life to challenge myself and take this on.
Organizers of the event, though also runners, are too busy planning to actually run. But they take pride in bringing the race to the community.
Well, we had 2 years in a row with rain, and in 2015 we actually had to stop the race about 3.5 hours in because of a thunderstorm and lightning, and then the next year it just poured the whole weekend. So the fact that it didn't rain last year, it was pretty windy, but it didn't rain. I'd say that was the highlight. And of course, we're being blessed with an incredible weekend after the winter that we've had here. We know why it was so awful for 16 straight weeks. It's because we wanted to get a day like this.
It's looking like the weather will be beautiful this weekend.
This event brings the entire community together each year.
With over 80 sponsors for the event, the whole community really does what they can to help out the runners, accomplishing a feat that few can.
Since this is my first one, I really am just wanting to finish without any injuries.
Good luck to all the runners this weekend. I certainly wouldn't stand a chance in a marathon. From Urbana, I'm Jessica Watson, UI7 News.
With the 10th Illinois Marathon coming up this weekend, some streets closing are already underway, like the ones in progress located around the Arc. All streets closing will start at 6 in the morning on Saturday, and the entire race route will be closed by 6:30. Runners will start near the State Farm Center at the intersection between St. Mary's Road and First Street. Then they will get a chance to enjoy the beauty of Champaign-Urbana area as they run, and finally finish up at the Memorial Stadium. People can expect parking restrictions and longer waiting times due to road closures. The temporary parking restrictions will begin at 6 a.m. on Saturday. More information can be found on its website, illinoismarathon.com.
Cole Hankey now joins us on set for sports. And we are pulling that up in just a second, but right now I'm going to be reading. The issues surrounding Chief Illini Wick continue to make headlines at the University of Illinois. On Monday, University professor Jay Rosenstein will propose a resolution to ban all Chief Illini Wick appearances at Illinois sporting events. He wants to categorize all appearances and references to the chief as act of protest against the university's decision to remove the icon from the school. Rosenstein is a faculty senate representative from the Department of Media and Cinema Studies. And now we are going to take it to sports.
Illinois women's golf needed a historic round on Sunday to finish towards the top of the Big Ten tournament. So they just decided to shoot the best round in school history at 7 under and finish tied for second place. The performance was good enough for the Illini to qualify for their second straight regional berth, and only the 6th in program history.
Very excited to find out that we will be heading to Madison, Wisconsin for regionals. We're looking forward to that opportunity, and it will be a very heavy Big Ten field as a number of Big Ten teams will be competing there as well.
4 Illini received all Big Ten honors. Senior Grace Park and junior Bing Sing Sumale were named to the first team, and sophomore Tristan Nolan and senior Jan Prapasarangul were named to the second team.
Our upperclassmen, well, we have 4 seniors and 1 junior, and the experience that they have gained these last several years, because all of them have played in either all or nearly all of the tournaments, and so you learn something every time you tee it up.
The Illini are the 5th seed in the upcoming regional in Madison, beginning on May 5th. Meanwhile, this past weekend, the Illini men's gymnastics team went into the NCAA championships with their eyes set on gold. But they left with bronze. The biggest bright spot for the team came from junior Alex Diab, who brought home the individual national title in still rings. When Alex Diab finished his routine on the still rings at the NCAA championships, he knew there were only 2 other competitors that could beat him. He was the first to go of the 3, but after he watched the other 2 routines, he knew he had it in the bag.
I was so close last year, ended up losing it on the dismount, but this year worked hard and did everything I could.
Diab picked up All-American honors last year, but he wouldn't be satisfied with anything less than gold. He got right back in the gym the very next day, with his sights set on next year. His 14.5 on the rings this year was just enough to lock in the title. While head coach Justin Spring wasn't happy with his team's overall performance, he couldn't have been happier to see Diab at the top of the podium.
So deserving, hardest worker in the gym. That's what being the strongest guy takes. He's been working for this national title since last nationals, the day after. I'm dead serious, and he's 3-peat Big Ten champ, and he just never got that big one till now. So he edged out the field by just enough. I'm so happy for him.
Diab's teammate Bobby Baker was also happy to see Diab win the title, but he wasn't at all surprised by the outcome.
That man is the most consistent rings worker I've ever seen in my entire life. He doesn't budge at all. He doesn't have good days, he doesn't have bad days, it's just him. And I think it took long enough, but he really deserved that first place, and I'm really proud of him.
Diab still has his senior year in front of him. Now a back-to-back All-American, he once again has his sights set on next year, with only one goal in mind: to repeat. As the Illini men's tennis team gets ready for the Big Ten tournament tomorrow, 2 Illini seniors are approaching the end of their careers in the orange and blue. Alex Vukic and Aaron Hiltzik have been the faces of Illinois tennis the past few years. Vukic, the #1 singles player, and Hiltzik, the #2, were honored at the Illini Senior Day this past weekend in their match against Minnesota.
It's senior day for him, and he's one of the grittiest, toughest people that, you got a lot of people that have been through this program that are really tough, and he's up there with those names in terms of one of the toughest guys I've ever coached.
Vukic and Hiltzik have combined for 285 wins in their careers, while only taking 149 losses. Both are planning on pursuing a career in the pros. Vukic already has a top 100 win and a pro tournament title under his belt, and Hiltzik will be joining his older brother Jared on the pro circuit. Until then, the Illini will be focusing on the Big Ten tournament and the upcoming NCAA tournament. I tell you what, that trip up to Chicago, though, for that men's gymnastic national championship was just incredible. Like, the fact that it was in Chicago really gave the Illini a home gym advantage, and yeah, there was a ton of Illini fans up there. It was pretty crazy.
That's cool. But those guys have so much athleticism in them. It's amazing.
I can't imagine. They must be so dizzy when they're flipping in the air like that. Like I get dizzy like spinning in circles a couple times, and they're like doing 8 flips and like corkscrew in the air.
Amazing.
Absolutely. All right. As Rosenstein furthers the conversation on Chief Illini Week at the Facility Senate, Chancellor Robert Jones continues his effort to have the campus conversation. The university is holding a She-Ret next Tuesday. It is designed to spark a conversation regarding the chief and generate insights and new perspectives for the future of the logo. It will be held from 3 to 6 p.m. in the South Lounge of the Illini Union. Video will be shown from the Critical Conversations meeting on April 10th, and it is open to public.
I can't believe that this is our last newscast.
I am so upset. This school year has gone by so quickly. We're graduating.
Oh my God.
What is going on? I am not ready to be an adult.
I'm getting there.
You're getting there?
Yeah,
you think so?
there, you know.
Maybe I'm just in denial for a little bit.
I think I'll be okay with not staying in the studio for like quite as many hours.
Okay, that's true. All right. Thank you guys for tuning in. We'll see you guys later. Or not.
Another turning point, a fork stuck in the road. Time grabs you by the wrist, directs you where to go. So make the best of this test and don't ask why. It's not a question but a lesson learned in time. It's something unpredictable, but in the end is right. I hope you had the time of your life. Unpredictable, but in the end is right. I hope you had the time of your life.